Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey guys, welcome to today's show. We got Nicole from collectively Cole Rant joining us back on the show. It's been a hot minute since we've had her on the show. Always a privilege and honor to have her on the show. Very conservative and patriotic woman she is. So yes, she'll be on the show today joining us. Also too, I want to discuss about the censorship. Yes, YouTube put me in YouTube jail for COVID misinformation. Yeah, so we're temporary put on shadow ban from YouTube. It's okay, guys. We'll bounce back like we always do. Got a lot more topics on the show, guys. Tune in. Patriot Unfiltered.
Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
All right, guys, welcome to Unfiltered. I'm Mike Gardner. Joining us today, guys, we got Collective Cole on the podcast. It's been a hot minute since you've been on, Nicole.
Yeah, life has happened.
Yeah. So tell me, what's been going on? How's life there up in the Northeast?
Murphy's being a donkey's ass as always, but hee-haw, hee-haw.
Right. Yeehaw, yeehaw. I don't know if you heard, Nicole, but ScrewTube definitely put the shadow ban on the Patriot Angle podcast the other day.
Yeah, what was up with that?
Well, I
They
had
said it was medical misinformation. Here's an idea. Pelosi's full of misinformation, and yet they let him talk.
Yeah, right. Because he's the elite. I guess the elite have the privilege. Yes.
Elite. Yeah, who's he blowing?
Right.
Ooh, did you say that out loud? Did I say that out loud?
No, you're fine. It's unfiltered. Definitely pay the extra freight on the bill with the disclaimer here on the show. So it's okay. It's StreamYard Network. You're allowed to do it. It's okay. But, I had Rooster on the show just the other day. We did an exclusive podcast that was only affiliated with YouTube, and then the Facebook group page, and then obviously the Facebook page, of course, with the website. But out of all those angles, Nicole, YouTube, ScrewTube, whatever the hell you want to call them, picked up a piece of the content in that show, like towards the middle of it. When Rooster and I were basically getting in depth with the vaccine mandates. I guess they didn't like that because they banned me for misinformation on COVID.
Okay, well, here's something that the reason why I haven't been on in a while. I've had COVID. I had COVID.
Right. I'm not denying
it's the let me tell you, having COVID is more of a vaccine than the vaccine.
Right.
Expose somebody who's had COVID to people who have COVID and watch. And then take that same person in a room filled with vaccinated people who've never had COVID. Yeah. I bet you that after that time period, say you throw 10 people in there, 2 vaccinated, 8 vaccinated, 2 unvaccinated who've had COVID, and guess what? Out of that time period, those 2 people that have had COVID are going to walk out of there without COVID. The others who've been vaccinated without COVID, guess what? They're more inclined to get COVID.
Well, yeah, because history shows, even with the regular flu vaccines, that I don't know. Call me a conspiracy theorist or what, but I mean, I think some of the crap has to be in there. I mean, with the spike proteins. I mean, I don't know what to believe anymore with this crap, to be honest with you.
It's funny because you're more inclined to get COVID. I've spoken to people who've had the vaccine and who haven't had the vaccine. And now, mind you, I was never vaccinated. I got COVID. I got COVID bad, like bad, got it. And I've been exposed to people who've had COVID since then. And guess what? I didn't get it. Nah, 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 nah. But yet people who have gotten vaccinated have gotten it. And I was in a room with, I was in a room with a couple people, and one person in that, room had COVID. We found out like 3 days later that they had COVID. Well, everybody in that group, I was the only one that was not vaccinated that had COVID. Guess what? Out of the 5 people that were in that group, not including the one that had it that day, so there was 6 people, I was the one that was unvaccinated and had COVID. The other 4 were vaccinated, never had COVID, but were vaccinated. Guess what? I didn't get COVID again. Those 4 people who were vaccinated got COVID. What does that tell you?
I don't know. I mean,
what does that tell you?
It mixed reactions, maybe.
Why didn't I get COVID? Because my body created those antibodies to it.
Yeah. Well, you said, didn't you say you're unvaccinated?
I'm unvaccinated. I got COVID. I was exposed to people who had COVID and were vaccinated. Guess what? The vaccinated people were the ones that got COVID, not me.
So you're telling me that you got COVID from vaccinated individuals, not unvaccinated individuals?
No, I don't know where I got it from, but I had it. My body created the antibodies to it naturally.
Right.
I was in a room with people that were vaccinated.
Right.
And somebody that was in that room we found out like a day later, 2 days later, had COVID. The people after that 24-hour, 48-hour, 36-hour, whatever span.
Right.
They all tested positive for COVID. I was the only one that didn't test positive for COVID. What does that tell you? My body created those antibodies to that virus. I didn't get sick again. And the vaccinated people, who were the ones that were supposedly, less inclined to get sick, were the ones that got sick, not me. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's facts. And, to be talking about something like that, that's
the mainstream media, the liberal machine will be like, it's a conspiracy theory. That's how they talk.
Everybody should just fucking get it. Like, fuck it. Everyone should just fucking get it.
I mean,
everyone should just fucking get it. It's not as deadly as they're all saying it is. It kills 1% of its victims. Like, come on, everyone should just fucking get it. I'm tired of this.
I mean, we're what are we into 2022 already? I mean, we've been dealing with this thing from the beginning of 2020, going on 2.5 years, 3 years now. I mean, I think everybody's kind of getting tired of the COVID, era of this.
Don't kid yourself. Having the virus was bad. Like, I was sick. Like, every symptoms that they said that you were going to experience, the not being able to taste or smell, the hard breathing, not having any energy, the lethargicness, every freaking symptom going through that virus I experienced. And it sucked. And I was out for an entire month. It sucked.
Yeah.
But, after getting over it, it was, okay, cool. What next? And I've been exposed to people who have had it, and I never got it since then. Never got it again. Never. There was what the hell is it called? The reoccurrence or something. The reinfection. Well, people who get the vaccine have a higher chance of infection than those who don't.
Right.
That's not a conspiracy theory. That's science. I actually did research because I contemplated getting the vaccine after having it because I was in bad shape for an entire month.
Yeah.
So I really contemplated getting the vaccine. And the more I did my research on it, the more I was like, no, no, because I would have a higher chance of getting COVID again by the vaccine, not by, being exposed to somebody. Because my body had already created the natural antibodies versus the chemical antibodies.
Yeah, I mean, you can call me Superman because I mean, I've been around probably people that have had it, people that didn't have it. I mean, I've been around vaccinated people, unvaccinated people, and I haven't had the damn thing. And I mean, I don't want to jinx myself, but like I said, call me Superman. I haven't had the damn thing. Am I going to doubt that it's not a real disease? No. I mean, yeah, I understand people got it, and
it's not
people,
even a disease; it's a virus, and that's the thing. You don't know if you had it because everybody's symptoms are different. You could have had a head cold for a week, and swabbed your nose that week, and shit, for all you knew that you could have had COVID that week and not knew that you had COVID that week, thinking it was just a fucking head cold. You don't know unless you test it.
But sounds like you got a little cold there, huh?
No, I was just walking in from outside. It's 17 degrees in New Jersey.
Oh my God. Jeez. Yeah, we're supposed to be dropping down to the 20s overnight tonight, going into this weekend. And yeah, we're supposed to be getting this Arctic blast coming through the Atlanta area. So, I'm sure the Biden administration is going to be whipping up some kind of bullshit with that. Like, Dr. Fauci gonna make more scare tactics, and we're gonna be into another variant and this and that. And I think it's time, Nicole, that we set aside that, yes, COVID is a real thing, but it's time to get back to normalcy. I mean, this thing is like literally. Just the other day, Nicole, I had U.S. freedom fighters Brad and Jerry on the podcast, and actually was on their show, and we were discussing survival, and then we kind of went into politics and everything, and they even said, this COVID is really like just destroying, our society. I mean, you can't even go up to people without having people look at you with five heads. You can't even shake someone's hand. I mean, it's destroying our society. It really is.
Yep.
I mean, I see it all over the place. I mean, there's, I'm noticing now in the news now that Starbucks and a few other companies, are starting to want to try to hire back the people that they fired because they didn't want to get vaccinated. They're like, oh, with open arms again. Oh yeah, we'll hire you back. Yeah, like after you basically canned them, that you're gonna hire them back. I mean, it's all this crap, all this shit. Nicole, it's getting old. It really is.
Yep.
It's getting old. Did you hear the story that South Carolina is becoming the first state that wants to pass a bill that basically indicates that if anybody, a business, an individual, anybody questions you and asks you if you're vaccinated, ask about your vaccination status, they could be liable up to a $14,000 fine and up to a year in prison. Did you hear that one?
Good for South Carolina.
Yeah. They want to pass the bill. Obviously it's got to go through the House and through the congressional districts there in South Carolina. But I mean, if it passes, like you said, good for South Carolina. I hope the whole damn country basically follows their direction.
Oh please, Jersey's not going to do that.
No, Governor Murphy.
You got fucking New York and New Jersey are like fucking sister states, and they're fucking, oh my gosh. Murphy's a jackass who needs to go back to fucking Pennsylvania. Dude, he doesn't even belong in New Jersey.
Yeah, he's screwing up that whole state. I mean, what was it? Ron DeSantis of Florida, I think, is going to be the next state to join South Carolina. He basically just ended the mandates for small business and big business. You know, not requiring businesses such as Amazon, Walmart, and such for the mask mandates. He's ended the mask mandates in his state, which is great.
I know. I've got my mom and my sister live in Florida. I know. They love it. They get to live their lives.
Well, they get to live in freedom. You know what I mean?
Oh.
There's freedom in Florida, unlike New Jersey or New York, where look at Murphy, look at former Governor Cuomo. Look what they did to the businesses there. Destroyed them. They'll never come back.
Destroyed our states. Like, these states are destroyed. New York and New Jersey. When you think of the East Coast, you think of New York, New Jersey, and like you think of the major. You think of, well, for me, because I'm a Jersey girl born and raised. When I think of East Coast, I think of home, which is New Jersey. I think of New York. I think of Massachusetts. Like, those are the three states I think of instantly when I think of the East Coast. Like, New Jersey, New York, and Massachusetts. Like, that's the East Coast for me, And I don't even think of, Connecticut, PA, Delaware, Maryland. I don't think of those. It's, the three major places, New York City, which is the most major city in the entire United States, Boston, and my home state, So it's,
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And moving on to the next topic. What do you think? I'm sure you heard this because it's been surfacing. Speaking of the censorship, I brought into the show earlier in the episode tonight with me being, shadow banned from YouTube. Also shadow banned, and actually he's not shadow banned. He's permanently banned from YouTube. Conservative podcast host Dan Bongino. Did you hear him? They kicked him off. Yeah, he's done. I don't know if you follow Dan Bongino or you know who he is, but he's a big conservative podcast host.
I hope he comes back as somebody else.
Yeah. That's what usually happens, Nicole. When these platforms, they kick people off or they ban them, they come back 10 times stronger. You know what I mean? So is it attack on free speech? Absolutely. Is it attack on, conservative media? Yeah, without a doubt. It's whether Bongino was speaking the truth about COVID or not. It's his First Amendment rights, his free speech to say what he pleases, and the liberal machine, they hate that. They look at that as a threat,
Yep.
And then another one, what is it? Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan just the other day was basically going to be removed from Spotify. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Joe Rogan is a threat to our democracy and this and that." Like, what? Why? He's a threat to our democracy, but you don't look at people like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and other people that say more severe things and such on that level. But you look at Joe Rogan, it's like, oh, just because you don't like somebody, you don't like their viewpoints, you're going to say, oh, they're a threat to democracy. It's like the country. What was it? Not the country singer. The legendary singer Neil Young basically came out the other day and said, oh, it's either my music or him. It's either you kick me off of Spotify or you kick Joe Rogan off of Spotify. Well, they're going to look at, what makes their platform richer. Is it Neil Young or is it Joe Rogan? Well, apparently Joe Rogan gets more of the better ratings. So you're going to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, now, Neil Young is without a platform. He doesn't have a platform now. He just lost 60% of his income off of Spotify, but that's what happens, Nicole, when you're woke, this so-called woke shit, I keep on telling people, the woke makes you go broke. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, but other than that, yeah, I mean, it's been a hot minute since we had you on the show. It's awesome to have you on there. It's awesome to hear you again. Sounds like you're doing somewhat okay.
I'm getting through one day at a time. Just, you know,
Yeah.
dealing with stupidity because, all about what's going on in this fucked up world we're living in. Did you hear about one of my coworkers was telling me about this recently about and you'd find this comical actually because it is comical, is this group of people who are on this no work protest or some dumb shit like the no working era.
No
Like,
working in her.
I don't know. It was like this group. I don't know. I got the half-assed version of it, and it was like this. It's kind of like that trend bullshit, like with all these different social media platforms. But it's these people who are in this not working. I don't know. It was weird. It was different. It was frustrating because nobody wants to work, and every place is hiring. And when you get somebody that's good, you treat them like shit, like. Amazon, Amazon. You got good employees and you treat them like shit. I wish Jeff Bezos was listening to this. I've got a lot to say because now I'm not afraid to say it. He has a lot of horrible human beings managing his warehouses, and it's going to make his company go to shit if he doesn't, do the right things by, firing the children that are running the throwing sand on the fucking playground. He had me, who was one of his better employees in that company, and they if I could have a conversation with him.
I guess you woke up, right?
Right. Now I'm not afraid to say it. I used to work for Amazon, and they've got children running those warehouses, and if Jeff Bezos looked at his company, he would be so disgusted if he actually walked into the warehouses and saw who was running them. He would be disgusted. I mean, a big businessman like that, no. Let me have a conversation with Mr. Bezos. I would tell him what really happened, what really goes on,
Right.
And I mean, and you all have heard me. Everyone's heard me, on my rants and stuff. Like, I don't sugarcoat anything. Like, I'm a single mother. I'm a domestic violence survivor. I work my ass off. I have multiple sources of income to provide for my kids. Child support is non-existent, and I've got 2 children with disabilities. So it's even more, like this is, I'm not lazy,
Right.
I'm educated. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating watching these, people not wanting to work. It's frustrating watching these multi-billion-dollar companies, hire schmucks. It's frustrating that,
they're calling it, Nicole, this is all about the great reset. You know what I mean? I mean, that's basically what they're
doing. So you want children running billion-dollar companies, people with no experience, lazy ass motherfuckers? No. They all bitched about minimum wage going up. Well, guess what? And now they're all bitching about the fucking prices in the grocery stores. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Minimum wage requires minimum effort and minimum skill.
Right.
And they all want minimum wage to be $20 an hour or $15 an hour, whatever the fuck it is. No. Minimum wage is minimum effort, minimum knowledge, minimum skill, minimum everything.
Right.
You're familiar with big box companies. You see the prices going up in those companies, and it's going up for multiple reasons.
Yeah, without a doubt. We
are in a state of inflation right now, and it's
starting to become the worse than the Great Depression of the what was it, 1950s? I mean, 1920s. 1960s. I mean, every type of depression that we've had in this country, I think this inflation tops them all. I mean, what this president's doing, I mean, it's like he doesn't care. I mean, even his poll numbers, you check his poll numbers like just recently, and his poll numbers, I mean, they're dwindling down. I mean, they're down in the 20s now, and it's just like it just doesn't faze them. Just the other day, speaking of inflation, just the other day, Fox correspondent Peter Doocy. I don't know if you caught that press conference with Biden and Fox News. Peter Doocy of Fox News said to Biden, "Mr. President, would you take a comment on inflation?" And he says, "What do you think inflation is going to be or plays a big part on the midterms?" And Biden sarcastically says, "More inflation." Huh? What a stupid son of a bitch. I mean, this is, clear example of an old senile man. This is the type of language that you would see in a retirement home. Biden said this. I mean, it's right on the mic. And then you were like, oh, and then people will be like, oh, well, Trump said foul language when he was president, this and that. Yeah, but the coherentness between Trump and Biden, there's a comparison. Biden just isn't there. Trump, it was, very, coherent on a lot of different things. He understood the press. He read the press. Biden, it's like he looks at you with 5 different heads, and it's like, Mr. President, are you here? Are you understanding the statement, the question? You know what I mean? It's like, I tell you. But yeah. But it's I don't know. Like I say, I look at this crap and it's like, I shake my head. I scratch my head on this. It's like, it's 2024 here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we got about less than a minute here, Nicole. It was going to be a short little podcast here. I'm saving my energy for Tuesday. Tuesday, we're having our super mega podcast with U.S. freedom fighters joining us, Brad and Jerry and General Mike from U.S. Freedom Fighters podcast. It's a privilege and honor always to have them. I had them on my show now like 3 times, like 3 or 4 times. But I like doing that. I like having repeat people back on the show because we can relate on a lot of different topics. So I'm going to have them on the show Tuesday, and then we're also going to have the Rooster joining us from my podcast when he comes on my podcast every now and then. And then we're also going to have a special guest, which I'm not leaking at all yet. It's a surprise. So it's going to be a big show. I want to save my energy for Tuesday. So it's probably going to be about a 2-hour show. But it's been great having you on. It's been a hot minute since we've had you on the show. I think the last time you were on the show was back in November with 420 VIPs.
Yeah, right before I got COVID.
Yeah, right before, right? I mean, you got the Rona then. So, but it sounds like you're doing a lot better. Yeah, but it sounds like you're doing a lot better though.
Yeah.
But anyway, Nicole, thank you for joining us. And when are we going to see more rants? I haven't seen a rant on your page recently.
I actually posted one today about pain.
Pain, okay.
Pain. It's about pain. Not.
Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
It was a quick one. It was probably about a 3-minute rant about pain and how you need to feel it. Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. I'm going to check it out. We're running low on time. I'm going to have to cut you off there. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Guys, you heard Collectively Cole Rants here on the podcast. Nicole, it's been an honor. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you on the next one.
All right.
Alrighty. Take it easy.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.